Leute, Harriet Haller here again in Vienna. I am so excited to be with one of the most creative people you could ever imagine, and she is visiting Vienna from Copenhagen. Welcome, Margarita.
Oh.
So wonderful to have you here. I am so excited. Before I tell you everything what she does, she is amazing, and you will see why she is amazing. Welcome to Vienna.
Thank you, what a kind intro. Wow, thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
It's amazing. I could never imagine meeting you, just like that. Yeah.
There's a reason for everything, yeah.
So
It
how
meant to
did
be.
you find Vienna?
I love it. I'm just so happy that I got this opportunity to choose the city where I need to go, and it was Vienna.
Vienna is always one of the best choices. Have you seen anything? I know you arrived last night.
We did some sightseeing today, not gonna lie. We were lucky, the sun was out. We've seen the city. It's gorgeous, stunning.
One thing I can say, look at her. I mean, look at these boats. I'm sure this gives you a hint what this is all about. And the back of her jacket, all by herself. Margarita, tell us. You're doing art at the moment, but to my understanding, you're also an architect. Let's start from the beginning. Tell us about your journey.
Well, the journey started probably when I was just 3 years old. I just couldn't help myself. I just wanted to draw and paint and just be creative with that expressing myself. And my parents spotted it quite early because they made their little portrait of my grandma being like 3 or 5 years old, and it looked like my grandma. And my parents were a little bit surprised. So they were very supportive. So I pursued the painting and drawing. But then when it came time to choose a career, growing in the 90s in Russia, being an artist didn't really seem like the right choice.
Sounds familiar.
I wanted to find something creative but more technical. That's how I ended up building education and career as an architect. And luckily I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. It gave me a lot and taught me a lot. I got to experience a lot just being an architect. But at some point, I got to work in the best world companies doing the most exciting projects ever. But at some point, it was just not enough.
So tell us, so you have worked as an architect. And at the same time now, you're more concentrating on art.
Yeah, I actually completely stopped my architect career for a couple of years now. I only do art full time. That's all I do, and I'm just so much more excited. I feel like there's still, as being an architect, there's so many limitations and constraints.
Really?
You have to be an engineer. There's as much you can do with the building. Thinking of all the forces of gravity.
Tell us, which projects have you worked on where you can say as an architect, before we move to art, that at least I remember this and I also see it in my work today?
Yeah, for example, they're building a science museum in Sweden, in Lund. That was one of my latest projects that was involved with. I love that. It's super sustainable building. Yeah, it's all about science. It's like a window for humanity into all the science research they're doing right now.
Interesting.
Yet it's in wood. Surprise. Again, it's one of the most sustainable materials.
What is it called?
Science museum.
Just science museum, as simple as that. I would have thought it had something very, 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 Swedish, complicated about it. Now, talking about that, do you see your architectural, journey playing a role in your art?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like the biggest difference is, I'll start with that, is that being an artist, I see myself, the journey is just full of adventure. Every day is a new day, and it's not like any other.
Wow, I want to be in your world.
It goes so good. It's a lot of challenges. Like, I confront tasks, also running my own business. I never seen before. So, but on the good side, the bright side, what architect taught me and how I use it now is I feel like being an architect is very opening and optimistic. Taking care a lot of different projects at the same time, a lot of different aspects of each project. So I feel like running a business and being an artist, I can keep up with that structure of mind to make sure everything, taking responsibility.
It's all calculated.
Actually, I have to say, it was a little bit where it didn't play good for my art career is that I had to get rid of all this limitation.
It's like jumping out of the box.
Exactly. Art has to be messy and unexpected and provocative, while architect is very precise and
of course, everything, otherwise the building will not stand. I can imagine that size building and everything. So, talking about your art, when did you start painting?
I always painted all my life. I treated it as a side hobby. I had some side gigs, but it's been now nearly 3 years since I'm focusing full time everything around my art and the brand around it.
How would you describe your art?
Again, I think it's a journey, evolving and finding your voice, finding your message, but I feel like I'm getting closer and closer to how I really feel about it and what I want to convey. And at this space where I am in my life, through the journey I've been to, I feel like I want to speak about self-empowerment and authenticity. I want everybody to believe in themselves and celebrate each other's differences. I feel like we're all unique paths, and nowadays with current day social media, it's so easy to fall into the trap of comparing ourselves, trying to belong. But I feel like there's so much beauty in embracing, again, the differences in authenticity, and not everybody has the courage to do so. So I want to lead by example with my journey and my art, to step into that and empower people.
What would you say about this painting? It's so beautiful. I love color, and you really use color so well. I am so touched with every piece I've seen of your work, or I've had an opportunity to have a look. What would you say about this painting?
That was girls. It was really actually it was pretty spontaneous work, but I'm very proud of it and I'm very happy how it came out. But I feel like again the idea here, they are they're nearly intimidating in the way
I can agree on that.
How powerful and confident they are. They come from being perfect. I played with these colors and extravagant light just to show that again they're just two strong human beings.
I can see it in their eyes. When you just look at it, it's actually intimidating because they are really looking at me here. It's like, Harriet, what's up? Absolutely gorgeous. And then we have this one, my absolute favorite. Tell us about this one.
This is actually a very special painting. It was an opening piece for the show I did last year that's called Villain Era. And again, it was all around the idea that I wanted to, kind of break out of all this societal conditioning. Like, I feel like a lot of us are being conditioned by society, by upbringing to be a hero, to sacrifice a lot, to do things by the book. While I feel like there's so much power in being a villain, actually breaking free from that, tapping into your own shadows, tapping into who you are, what you want as a person. And I believe we can actually become heroes in a way and bring the goodness from that place. So I called the whole series Villain Era, and that was the opening piece. They were a little bit provocative, playing a little bit around, challenging also the concept of 7 deadly sins.
Oh, which are they?
If you look at through they a little bit maybe also come from organized religion to condition and somehow suppressed, and this one was representing sloth. Like, what if we do actually, embrace taking time for ourselves? I believe this lady, she's enjoying herself, she's loving herself, she's having a self day with, with the glass and with the spa or bath, and she's just
when I saw this painting on your Instagram, I said, oh my God, that's me. Honestly, I related to this image. I don't know about any ideas of how other people feel, or which box you need to jump out, or what's happening in your life. But for me, here I am. And honestly, now that you have described it, this is how I'll think about myself. Maybe not most of the time, because it's impossible sometimes because of the stress of the life, the world, and that you forget yourself. but it will definitely be
a reminder.
A great reminder, you know. And now that you're doing this, to my understanding, you're having so many exhibitions. I mean, you're all over. You are on all the continents. How do you do that? Or what would you tell the young people out there who feel, you know, they have a voice through their work? How do you put yourself out there?
I believe, first of all, encourage. Again, maybe not taking life too serious, and really, you know, if you have a message, once you found your message, what you want to express yourself, and your voice is just taking risks, you know, and being a bit more bold, and of course calculated risks in a way, but just being daring to take that step and throw yourself out there. I don't believe it's actually as a failure. I feel like it's all the learning curves. I fail all the time.
How old are you? I can't believe that you've fallen so many times.
Some things lead you where you wanted to, sometimes they don't. But the more you do that, the more you learn to know.
Exactly.
And I think that it's such an empowerment. And I would probably just want everybody to be able to take those risks and speak up their voice.
Yeah. So when we fall, we should get up.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, we should get up.
Yeah. We should just have that faith, and you have to feel until you hit it.
Yeah. Do you have people who have supported you in your life when you started this? Yes, of course. Now, it's of course that people do assist you and say, oh, there is this gallery, or somebody comes to you and says, oh, I love your work, I would like to take it further to them. But who encouraged you in your life? And you know, they always say an apple doesn't fall far away from the tree. So is it your parents? Is it your upbringing, or your friends, or life in general? Who has given you a heart to bring you to where you are now? Or at least to look back and say, you know,
I feel like it's very important. As you say, it's so easy when things go well, it's so easy to be on top and everybody's around you, but it's so important to have the support when nobody else has, and when you're actually not feeling at your best, and you don't have the best day of I don't know, you start doubting yourself. So for me, I think it's always been my family, of course, and a group of friends that's been there through good and bad, and then I know that I can always find that support. But I do believe that it's so important to surround yourself with same-minded people who wants to be in the same journey, who wants to grind and learn and express.
You know, people say that about being around the same-minded people. How do you find the same-minded people? I mean, we could have the same craft, but our minds are not in the same direction or vision-wise. What would you say about that? Because as artists, we have a lot of disappointments from our own. Yeah. So sometimes when I hear this, and you know, surround yourself with the right people, how do you know that is the right person? Or how do you know those are the right people? How do you know this is the right place? So
I think it goes back to the values. Again, things change, time change. We might live throughout different phases and different interests, but the values should remain. That's the drive, as like a foundation that we all have, and I feel like putting that on, you always know if the person's there to stay or if it's just there for a short period.
And if something happens, allow yourself to say that it was for this particular time and then move on.
Absolutely. I feel like I learned that the hard way, also realizing we all need each other for a reason. And it's very healthy to look at it that we might share a journey. It might be a day, it might be 10 years. You never know.
You never know.
You have to be open and
and let others jump on and others jump off.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's a journey. And we all have different ones.
You know? Oh, Margarita, I thank you so much for this short talk. I've really enjoyed talking to you so much. So Fablstyle, the new icon for Fablstyle next Margarita, with her beautiful work, but not just the beautiful work, her beautiful soul. And as she talks about values, these are the things we value in life, and I'm valuing this moment so much. And I'm looking forward to coming to one of your exhibitions.
Can't wait to show you my art.
Thank you so much. Don't forget to follow us on Fablstyle. Looking forward to seeing you. Ciao.
Ciao.